Okay, so let's take a look at number 11. One evening, 2/3 of the students in Rick's class watched television. Of those students, 3/8 watched a reality show. Of the students that watched the show, a quarter of them recorded the show. So what fraction of the students in Rick's class watched and recorded a reality show? So in order to solve this problem, I'm going to represent this visually. Okay, so I'm going to use a rectangle to represent Rick's class. Okay, this rectangle represents a whole. Okay, out of his class, out of this whole, 2/3 watched television. So I'm going to shade 2/3. Two-thirds watched TV. Okay. Now, of the students that watched TV, 3/4 watched a reality show. So I'm going to divide these into eighths. This 2/3 I'm going to divide into eighths. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 3/4 watched a reality show. So this group watched reality show. Okay, and out of this, students that watched a show, so a quarter of this, so I'm going to divide this into a quarter. A quarter of this recorded. Okay, so the question is asking, what fraction of the students in Rick's class watched and recorded? So they want to know what this fraction is in comparison to the entire whole. Okay, let's break this down. Okay, so look at the second line. Of the students that watched TV, 3/8 watched reality show. So of the students, how many students, what is the fraction of students that watch TV? 2/3. So 3/8 of 2/3 watched a reality show. So we're going to represent that. 3/8 of 2/3 watched reality show. Okay, and we know that of in math is multiplication, so we're going to multiply 3/8 times 2/3. So teachers, if you can please pause the video for about a minute so the students can multiply across, and then we'll resume and check the answers. Okay, let's return. So let's see what you got. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 8 times 3 is 24. So what is the common factor between this numerator and denominator? We're going to divide by 6. Divide by 6, divide by 6, which is a quarter. So a quarter of the students in comparison to the whole, a quarter of the students in comparison to the whole, watched reality show. Quarter of students in Rick's class watched reality in Rick's class. Okay, so let's find out how much this is in comparison to the whole. Okay, so of the students that watched the show, so what is the fraction of the students that watched the show? So it's 3/8. So of the students that watched the show, a quarter of them recorded. So these students watched and also recorded the show. So a quarter of 3/8 watched and recorded the show. Okay. So teachers at this time, just please pause the video and give the students about a minute to compute this fraction, what the outcome of the fraction is. Okay, let's resume. We know that off is what in math? It is multiplication times 3/8 is equal to, we multiply across, which is 3 out of 12. 3 out of 32. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. So this is the fraction of students in Rick's class that watched and recorded the show. So that is our final answer. Compared to the whole, 3 out of 32 students watched and recorded the show.